Project 95 kicks off now. September 27th, 1995, Cal Expo Amphitheater, Sacramento, Cali. I'm listening to it right now. You can see it going around. And obviously a lot sort of rushing back. A couple of things though that I remember, I mentioned in the post earlier, just not knowing what songs were, right? First night of a fall tour. They had been touring stuff from Billy Breathes in the summer and things like that. So we kind of we knew Free, Strange Design, like stuff like that, but it's 1995. So I remember the second set starting and they come out and they're playing Cars, Trucks, Buses, and nobody in the room had any idea what was going on. And I actually opened the first, they played it 3 out of the first 4 nights. 4 out of the first, whatever, a bunch of nights in a row. They played Cars, Trucks, Buses. Every one of them I wrote, Jazz Jam, ? So that was a fun game. I remember that. I remember Cal Expo was like a fairgrounds type thing. So it's just like a grass patch with a stage, and then it had some seating on the sides, like bleachers almost. It was really small. And on tour by yourself, you kind of just go and you go in to at least the first show. I didn't know anybody. You just go in and you you go into the venue as soon as you can. So I did. I remember I walked right up to the rail, and it wasn't even crowded. And I'm like, oh, that's right, we're on the West Coast. Remember, 95, Phish was not what they are now. They were huge in the Northeast, huge. And that's the only place I had seen shows. By the way, I had seen 10 shows before I decided to drop out of college and go on tour. 10 shows, and I saw 3 shows this summer of 95, and then obviously did this. But I noted oh, we're on the West Coast. They're not that big a deal out here. And you can, if you track the tour, the rooms get bigger as they move east. And obviously they played MSG on New Year's Eve. So you watch the progression of this tour, the rooms get bigger. So it was a totally different Phish experience for me going out west. It was it wasn't nobody was there, but it was nobody was, fighting you for a spot on the rail. Nobody was, all up in your business. Second thing I remember was I met 2 dudes in line to get in that are featured in that photograph. Spencer and Chris, who I am still in touch with. And we met in line. We were just standing next to each other and, hey, are you on tour? Yeah, I'm out. I'm from Buffalo, and they're from Seattle. And they were doing basically half the fall tour from Sacramento to New Orleans. And as you'll hear in videos soon to be posted, I spent a lot of time with those guys. So the first day I met some people who I would be touring with. So I wasn't by myself entirely, which was comforting and encouraging to me. the show, it's funny. You can look at my notes on the other post. I'm just starting this whole process of keeping the notes, and I eventually, if you know me, you know I have a very elaborate rating system that I was developing through this whole tour. So there's some nuances that I would develop. So you look at this show and you're like, it's pretty meh, who cares? But as I said before, they debuted Billy Breeze, they debuted Keyboard Army, they debuted Cars, Trucks, Buses, they debuted something else, Day in the Life. This was the Day in the Life tour. People by the end of it were just bitter. They kept playing it. I mean, it's as good a cover as any. I don't know what people are butthurt about, but you got a trombone solo. Those are few and far between. Trombone solo during I Didn't Know, and debut of Fog That Surrounds, and the story of that song will, if you don't know it, will unfold as these videos go on, because Fog That Surrounds would eventually be tweaked and adjusted and reworked to become what we now know as Taste. And there was even a brief moment, I think it was on this tour maybe, where it went from Fog That Surrounds to Taste That Surrounds as it started to morph, and then it eventually became Taste, and everybody was happy. So musically, it's a strong show. Harry Unfinished, I'm not to that part of the show yet. Does that mean they didn't do the feel good part? I mean, it has to mean that. I don't know. I will find out how stupid young me was when I started going through these. They dedicated Ragtime Gal to Pete Shaw, who was their former Monitor guy. He was in that crew. Kuroda, Paul, and Pete were the stalwarts of the 1.0 crew. And they were, we used to talk about them like we knew anything about music. Like, oh yeah, Paul's like, dude, a good job. Like, we don't know any of that. But we liked to think, we being what would become the Jam Boys. And so yeah, Pete threw a ball and he rang the pole from, the one. Sun always comes up much too soon. Push on to the day. That's the one. He is Pete threw the ball, rang the pole. Trey recently, maybe not recently, but on this past tour, but told the story about Pete throwing the ball and ringing the pole. You can find that somewhere on YouTube. So, yeah, I'm excited for this whole project. Hopefully the videos will get better than this one. But my buddy Roman's asked, what did I do after the show? And my reply was, I fucking headed to San Diego, dude. An 8-hour drive to the next night. Not like you get a night off. 8 hours to San Diego for 9:28. So that's what I did. I didn't get to hang out with my two new bros, but I eventually would, because I saw them the next night. I'll get into that too. But hope you're getting into this. Enjoy the show. Go listen and re-listen. They have every show. I mean, the quality, the quality is kind of all over the place. But I mean, at this point, who cares, right? I mean, let's not be sound snobs. Yeah, I'm excited to do this, and hopefully we can bring a lot of people along and get a kick out of it too. So I will see you tomorrow in San Diego.